Well. UFC Vancouver just wrapped up last night, and today we're going to be going through the card. I'm about to get pretty angry. I'm about to rage a little bit, so forewarning. Yeah, we'll just jump right into it. Starting with the first fight of the main card, Kyle Nelson versus Matt Frevola. This was an interesting fight. I thought it was pretty entertaining, back and forth. Kyle Nelson realistically should have knocked out or got a knockout on Matt Frevola in the first round. But it was an impressive performance from Kyle Nelson. I picked Matt Frevola in this fight, thinking that if he could kind of survive and not get finished by Kyle Nelson, that he would be the better man in there, just based on sort of what we've seen and experienced. But that did not turn out to be the case. Kyle Nelson looked very good. He looked much bigger too. I was really surprised by that. I did not think that Kyle Nelson was that large at lightweight. Matt Frevola's chin is just gone, like completely gone. Everything Kyle Nelson hit him with, I felt like it was just hurting Matt Frevola and kind of wobbling him, which is really unfortunate because Matt Frevola was on the come up, pretty exciting, and seems like a cool enough guy. I really just don't know what is left for him in his career. So, best wishes to Matt Frevola, but man, Kyle Nelson, good for him, I guess. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see where Kyle Nelson goes from here. I think he's still going to struggle with some of the lower ranked folks as he starts to approach the rankings once again. But we'll see. It was pretty fun regardless. Yeah. Charles Jourdain at bantamweight against Davy Grant was the next fight, and man, Charles Jourdain looked good. I mean, this is a version of Charles Jourdain I feel like we haven't seen in a little while. He really put it to Davy Grant, and how much of that is due to the fact that Davy Grant is 39 years old, I don't know, but man, yeah, very impressive. Just submitting Davy Grant and hurting him on the feet. He was throwing some wacky shit in there that was very entertaining to watch. I do wonder if this is like a resurgence for Charles Jourdain and how he's going to do going forward at bantamweight, because it looks like there could be some opportunities for him in this division. It's just a matter of how it all comes together, I guess. I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to seeing what Charles Jourdain does next. And, again, good for Canada. First two wins on the main card, pretty good. Pretty impressive performances. However, that train of wins did get derailed pretty fucking hard by Manon Fiorot. That was a very impressive knockout that she got on Jasmine Jasudavicius. I mean, Jesus Christ. Hit her so hard and just jelly legs immediately, dancing around in there. Holy fuck. I wonder, I don't know why Jasudavicius was so adamant about protesting that stoppage when it was like, from a ref's perspective, there was some questionable refereeing tonight, but man, this was unquestionable. The ref had probably stepped in thinking he was going to save this woman's life, because damn, she was in trouble. Where was this from Fiorot in the fight against Shevchenko? Like, not an ounce of this precision or power in that fight, and it wasn't like it was all just a grappling fest either. I mean, Fiorot was doing kind of what she could. Maybe that's a testament to Shevchenko, but yeah, damn. What do you even do with her? Because she's just reestablished herself as almost the number one contender again. Maybe if Weili wins the belt, she gets another shot. I really don't know. I really do not know what you do with Manon Fiorot, but super impressive performance. I gotta say, that was awesome. Happy to see it. Happy for Manon Fiorot. I feel bad for Jasudavicius. If I remember right, I believe she was on a bit of a streak, a bit of a tear. That came to a grinding halt. It'll be, we'll see how she bounces back. But yeah, that was that. It was pretty awesome. Watch the knockout if you haven't seen it. It's easily one of the best in the women's divisions this year. It ruled. Kudos to Manon Fiorot. Cannot say enough good things about how that fight went down for her and how she performed. All right, moving on to the meat and potatoes here. These three fights, this is going to take a while to get through, folks. So buckle up a little bit. But damn, if you've been watching, you know that Cheeto is a I have a complex relationship with Cheeto. You've brought him up in a few videos where I see a ton of promise in this guy. He was my fighter that I just bandwagoned on when I first started watching the sport. Like I saw Cheeto Vera earlier in his career, and just I thought he was so cool at the time. Back when he was, finishing people, submitting them, and knocking people out. But since then, I mean, Cheeto has just hit the ceiling. He just slows down, or he slowed down, just could not really get past anybody or put on an impressive performance to save his life. Had a very exciting 2022. And then from there, it was just like decision loss after decision loss, and then middling decision win after middling decision win. It just did not look all that good. And so, going into this fight with Zahabi, there were some questions because it had been over a year since Cheeto had last fought. And it wasn't a great performance from him, and it seemed like he really was locking in and that he was trying to figure out his game, which I was hopeful for because, again, I see a ton of promise in Cheeto. But, going into this fight with Aiemann Zahabi, I thought, hopefully we see something new from Cheeto. In the camp coming up to the fight, he was talking about how, Cheeto's got a legendary gas tank, and he was saying, I never get tired, but in this camp I was tired because I'm pushing myself so hard and being so active. And that's what I loved to hear. I was like, this is amazing. I mean, maybe Cheeto is actually going to figure out this shit and put together a game plan that works because all the pieces are there. And he got in there. And at first, he started out the fight and was moving forward and throwing some leg kicks with a little bit of activity. I was like, stop the presses. This is crazy. You know what I mean? Cheeto may have learned something and actually be improving. But then as the round went on, he just kind of fell into his normal ways of letting the other guy kind of come forward and punch at him while he puts up his guard and blocks most of the punches, but not doesn't throw anything back to get respect. And that's just kind of how the first round went. It just back and forth a little bit. Second round, Cheeto comes out of the gates swinging. He comes out pretty aggressive. He's on Aiemann Zahabi. He's pressuring him, and he throws those straights down the pipe that fucking hurt Aiemann Zahabi, dropped him bad. And Zahabi came up and was hurt, and Cheeto just let off the gas and let Zahabi kind of recover and get away. I was so angry. I was yelling at my TV like a stereotypical football man. I just could not believe what I was seeing. And then for the rest of that round, Cheeto Vera just fell into the exact Cheeto game plan, which is just to block all of the punches, take no damage, but throw absolutely nothing. And then the third round, he almost completely fell into his exact game plan that he normally has. And it cost him this fight. I mean, like I said, I have a complex relationship with Cheeto, but I say this with less bias. I think Cheeto won that fight personally. I could see why they would give it to Zahabi. It was close, but I think Cheeto did enough to win. He definitely did the more damage, which, is how they score in the UFC. But man, Cheeto's game, he's so defensively sound, but he's also so inactive that it's hard to score a fight for him in a decision win because he clearly did way more damage to Zahabi than Zahabi did to him. He landed the harder punches, the more devastating punches, the more reactive punches. But yeah, there's not enough there. He has to do more. So yeah, Cheeto did not learn anything. Even if he won this fight, I mean, it was the same kind of performance we saw before. But there were the takeaway I think from this fight too was that kudos to Zahabi, looked pretty good. This was a pretty back and forth fight. Honestly, it was a pretty entertaining Cheeto fight compared to some of his other decisions that he's gone to. But man, I really think it's seeing how much success he got when he would actually move forward, put on the pressure, be more active, and throw more punches, just goes to show that if he just tweaked his game plan, he could probably be pretty good and pretty devastating. His kicks are great, his straights, his punches are good, he's got good power, and his defense is good, but he just needs to throw back to get some respect. And Zahabi, he did not do that. Zahabi had the right idea, the right game plan. Also, kudos to Zahabi for coming out there in the last round and just locking in, biting down on the mouthpiece and swinging. Zahabi really came out there and he wanted to win that fight. So, yeah, kudos to him. That being said, Zahabi is, in my opinion, not winning his next fight. because he's either going to face an insanely difficult grappler in the likes of, like if he gets the title shot, Merab or Umar. I don't think he beats either of those dudes. Or he fights Corey Sandhagen or Sean O'Malley. And let's be honest, I don't think he beats either of those guys at all. In fact, the fact that Cheeto rocked him, I think that does not bode well, especially in a fight with Sean O'Malley, like he called out. Seems like a bad idea. I think he gets slept in that fight if it ever did happen. So, yeah, it was a pretty good fight, but moral of the story here is just, yeah, Cheeto doesn't really have it. Zahabi is now coming up in the bantamweight rankings, coming up on being a contender. Yeah, weird situation, but good fight overall. It was pretty entertaining. So, moving on to another villain of the channel, another one who I have a rocky relationship with, and that's Kevin Holland. This was the classic Kevin Holland performance where he came out of the gate, was trying pretty hard, got kicked in the nuts, and then just had an excuse not to fight anymore and just be like, yep, well, I'm giving up. The classic quintessential Kevin Holland performance. I just cannot get behind this guy. I pick him to win, and he looks good in the first round. He was putting it on Mike Malott, actually trying, and then boom, completely just gives up, doesn't really try anymore. Yeah, I don't know. Mike Malott looked fine. I don't really rate Mike Malott. He's okay, but Kevin Holland is just not. I don't think Kevin Holland is an impressive win anymore. And I think we know that. I don't think he's been an impressive win since fucking I don't even know when. It's been a long time, a couple of years probably. Yeah, good for Mike Malott. Good for Canada. Happy for them. I just don't really think that he. I don't see Mike Malott going up the welterweight rankings and beating a lot of these other guys. I think that he's going to struggle to fight quite a few people in the rankings on the come up. So either way, though, it's probably good that we got Kevin Holland out of there. Yeah, the saga continues. I don't know how much longer Kevin Holland can keep this stuff up, honestly, before even the fans, his fans, and the general audience just kind of leaves him behind. It's not a good look. It's bad. I wish he would have just taken the no contest. It wouldn't have hurt Kevin Holland, but this is such a worse look in my opinion. To take the fight, just to not look, I don't know, weak or something. It seems dumb to me. Fight compromised the entire time and then fucking lose again and lose your position in the rankings. Like, I just don't understand. Yes, it would have been annoying and the crowd would have booed, but who fucking cares, dude? It is your career at this point. Like, why did you not take a no contest? Yeah, I don't know. That bothered me a bit, but I guess that's beside the point. Yeah, moving on. Nothing more to say about that. Good for Mike Malott. We'll see how he does. Then the main event. I really got to eat my words on this one. I thought Brendan Allen was going to get annihilated on this. I fully will eat my words on this one. I really thought that De Ridder would just be better than him. And part of me thinks that is the case. Who knows if that's cope or something, because I do like De Ridder. I'm high on him, but the fact that De Ridder did so well in the first round and controlled him and was actually the better grappler from what we could see in the first round, it's weird that it just disappeared after that. Certainly the gas tank's probably just gone at that point. Like we saw, he just was so tired and it was pretty obvious. He was so content to just sit on the bottom. There was no urgency to get up. He just kept trying to throw up the triangles, and it's hard because I think that would work on a lot of other people, but Brendan Allen just happens to be one of the other more competent grapplers in the division. Brendan Allen stuck to the exact game plan that I thought when this fight was originally booked with De Ridder and Hernandez. I thought Hernandez was going to win, and I thought he would win using pretty much the exact strategy that Brendan Allen was using by just wearing down Reinier De Ridder in the cardio and with those working punches in the transitions and in when he has top position and just hitting to the body, like all the stuff that just saps your fucking cardio away and your endurance. And I think that's exactly what was so successful here against Reinier De Ridder. It's a weird one. What do you do with Brendan Allen? Because he's already lost to most of the people above him. And I think he would lose to all of them again. if I'm being completely honest with you. I'll be curious to see if if it comes out that DeRitter just, maybe it just sapped his cardio away. Maybe he was overtraining and overfighting because he's fought like 5 times in a year or something like that. That's a lot. That's a lot. That's like being in the camp and cutting weight that many times. We've seen it affect people. It happened to Kevin Holland. It happened to who else was it? Like Gilbert Burns had a bunch of camps that wore him down before he fought Bilal, and then he injured himself. Like, we've seen this happen a number of times. Joaquin Buckley is another example where these dudes have a super active year. They look so dominant, and they have so much momentum, and then they get in a fight, and they look almost completely different, And I don't know how much of it was the matchup. Nothing but kudos to Brendan Allen, though. Great performance from him. If he actually can keep up what he did in this fight, man, he might have some potential at middleweight. Seriously. I still don't think that he'll beat, like, Fluffy, or I don't think he'd beat Imavov. But maybe, like, Baralho. I could see maybe in a fight with Baralho, he could make some things happen. Like, it'll be cool to see. This does kind of throw a wrench into the middleweight division, though, because we kind of thought that it was going somewhere, and now it's almost part of it has collapsed in on itself, and it's feeling a bit stagnant now. So it'll be cool to see where we go from here. Hopefully, I hope Reinier de Ridder bounces back. It seems like he could. If not, he could totally go up to light heavyweight and give it a shot, because people can't fucking grapple up there. And I feel like he'd be all right. He'd be pretty good. He's a big guy. The only thing is, I think what we've seen from this too is, I don't know what the nature of the quitting was. I don't personally, and this might be a hot take, but I don't think there's anything wrong if you are completely gassed, you have absolutely nothing left, to just throw in the towel on the stool to preserve your health. I have no problem with that personally. I'm like, yeah, whatever. I don't think you owe it to the fans to, like, put your career in jeopardy, especially for Reinier de Ridder being at the age that he's at. Like, I mean, he doesn't have a ton of time left to try to make this run happen. So I'm not super like, oh, he quit, what, I find it somewhat acceptable. The thing that I find interesting about it, or questionable, is, does Reinier de Ridder just wilt under pressure and, like, power punches? Because we've seen him kind of get wailed on by some of his other opponents, like Robert Whittaker. He did pretty good in withstanding all of the shit that was thrown at him. I think it was probably just an exhaustion thing. Like, if you were that exhausted and you just had nothing left there and you're just getting beat the fuck up, like, it's going to happen again in the next round. Like, you just don't have it in you to do anymore. Fucking throw in the towel. I don't blame him at all for that. So, yeah, weird card. Honestly, pretty entertaining, like, all things considered. I think that the early prelims and the prelims themselves just really lived up to the hype. The opening fights were pretty entertaining. It just kind of fell off for me with these with the Kevin Holland and Mike Malott fight. That was kind of the stinker of the night for me personally. But yeah, overall, not a bad evening at all. It'll be interesting to see what all comes out of this. It's a weird one. And it's like all the people that I kind of like and all lost, and all the people that I don't care for or just are indifferent on, all won. It feels like the end of fucking Infinity War for me, where Thanos won. I don't know how to explain it. So, yeah, let me know what you thought in the comments down below. How would you matchmake these guys? Because I'm kind of curious what you do with a lot of the dudes that won this evening. Dudes and women, of course. Yeah. Peace out, everybody. We will see you in the next video. Enjoy your week. Goodbye.